Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome to day 18 of the 31 Days of Horror. Dbougie86 here again. Now, the film I got for you guys today is a personal classic of mine, and it's been a while since I actually watched this. This is actually one of the films that got me into creature features to begin with, and I'm excited to review it for you guys today. And of course, the film entitled is 1980's own Humanoids from the Deep. Yes. If you know about this film, you know it's produced by Roger Corman, and the credited director is Bobber Peters. I'll get more into my final thoughts on the film. And of course, this film stars Doug McClure and Vic Morrow, who two actors I actually personally like. I've seen most of the films and stuff that they've been in, so it's exciting to see them in this type of film. Now, the main plot of this one, we're introduced to this small, fishing community where all of a sudden a lot of strange occurrences start happening. First thing that happens is this boat ends up getting destroyed and blown up and stuff. In the beginning of the film, we see that there's some unbeknownst acts going on, and these people actually get slaughtered. And then the next day, everyone's dogs, they find a bunch of dead dogs in the area are dead, but this leads to our townspeople that are led by Vic Morrow's character, who have this thing against the Native American people that live in the area also, and they start blaming them for them. And then we find out that this is not the case, and there's actually these group of mutated fish creatures that are actually living in the area also. And they are not only harvesting and threatening to kill man, but they are taking women and mating with them pretty much. And their main goal is to evolve more into man. And it's up to a small group of townspeople led by Doug McClure's character to try to stop this before it is too late. That is pretty much the main plot of this one, without going way too crazy in it, but I probably explained pretty much the basic plot of this whole film. Now, if you know when I said about Barbara Peters actually directing the film, she did direct it, but after her finished product was done, Corman actually added a few more scenes that he wanted in the film, pretty much involving the monsters raping women and shit, and more titties and more nudity and more stuff to sell his film. So a lot of the film is directed by Barbara Peters, but there's a lot of stuff that isn't. But I kind of see that in this case that it actually works out for that reason, because this film is fucking hella fun. And we all know, as me as a Creature of the Black Lagoon fan, that we always wanted to know what is the Gill Man gonna do with the woman and shit. And this film answers that. And I gotta say another thing, the creatures themselves are fucking outstanding. Of course, they were designed by Rob Bottin, who's a very famous makeup effects artist at this time, of course, for his effects in The Howling and The Thing and RoboCop and numerous other films that he has worked on. And I just love the look of the creatures in this film. They're just a stunning feat to look at, with their way their bodies are designed and the way that their brains are exposed in the film. And the way they move and stuff is really cool. And this film's climax is fucking awesome. It's probably the feat of the film in a way, because of all the shit that is going around in this chaos that happens at the very end of the film. Now, the other highlight of this film is actually its soundtrack. If you don't know about the composer of this film, it's actually Academy Award winning composer and the late James Horner, of course, from Titanic fame, which is very odd because I didn't even know that. This is actually the first time I actually realized that James Horner scored this film. And it's kind of funny because I'm having every time I gonna watch a other film, not his non-creature feature or sci-fi type films, because he did compose a lot of this stuff back in the early 80s, including Aliens and stuff. But if I ever like watch Titanic, I'm just gonna have like images of humanoids in the deep in my back. But his score is really airy and mystifies to the mystery of what's going on and the tension of certain scenes. And even though the film does have some goofy parts in this film, there is one part in general where there's like this guy in a tent is trying to do foreplay with his girlfriend with a ventriloquist dummy, which is fucking odd as shit. And then of course the creature comes and shit. But the weird thing is the dummy's fucking moving on its own. I'm like, what the fuck? I'm like thinking to myself, like, really? But yeah, I fucking love this film. It has everything that I love in like a total great creature feature. It has its sleaze aspect too added to it. Plus it has its good creature effects, its gore, and just an interesting story and interaction with characters. I like the power struggle that is happening in the town and stuff, and it keeps me interested. And the very final shot actually puts a fucking smile on my face every time I watch this film. So if I had to rate Humanoids from the Deep, because I know of like its history and backstory isn't really like the best for like the main director of this film and what she went through, but if I had to rate it, I'm giving it a solid 8 out of 10. That's how much I highly enjoy this film. It's just a fun ride, and I love seeing me some monster rape in a film. So 8 out of 10 for Humanoids from the Deep. Fucking awesome treat. Alright guys, that's it for this review. I'll be back tomorrow, of course, with another one. Hope you're enjoying the 31 Days of Horror as I am. So I'll see you then, guys. Peace out.